So what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Movement6, and before we start, a huge thank you to everybody who's up this week. It's a privilege to have you guys on the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing, drop a like, hit those notifications buttons. Now, Modern Warfare 2. We're a couple days in. I think it's fair to say that we have experienced this tech demo as a very overpriced turd. You know, it. The funny thing is that for the first time in years, I have a feeling that Call of Duty has a very solid and interesting base. The core of the game is really not that bad. The shooting mechanics, the actual gameplay, the core of the gameplay is actually pretty good. And that is the most frustrating part of the whole experience. Because uh, you have 3 years, 3,000 people. Let that sink in. 3,000 people, 3 years, and this is the turd you serve. I, what a portion of my job is working in the application development space, if you will, to keep it a bit fake. Application development, rationalization, rebuilding applications to make it cloud native. That's part of my job, and I know a thing or two about application development. And to be fair, these 3,000 people should be fired because if you have the nerve to ask $100 in some cases, or maybe even more, for this is this is beyond belief from an application development standpoint. Because the question is, what have you been doing in the last 3 years? I have a very. This is just making notes while playing the game. I played the game on PlayStation 5. I played it on PlayStation 4 Pro. Played it on PC. The fun fact is that on PlayStation 4 Pro it runs the smoothest. It runs the smoothest on my PlayStation 4 Pro. Okay, but that's all jokes aside. I just the internet is flushing with issues, bugs, glitches, lists. So I just made a collection of the most. This is just scratching the surface, right? Spawns. I think they're the most horrible in the entire franchise up to date. Why can't you learn from at least other Call of Duties that did it better? To spawns in Call of Duty always have a question mark across the board, but there are Call of Duties that didn't do it that bad. So why not piggyback on what they did? In 40% of the time, I'm being spawned in the middle of the map. That's asking for trouble. And the amount of times I just spawned and die is just, if I get a quarter for that, I could pay my house off 3 times. The extreme lack of content. It is staggering to see. Even the map of the beta is not in the actual game right now. Does anybody notice that? It's not in there. It's got something to do with a lawsuit, fine, but we got 10 or maybe 9, 6v6 maps and a few invasion maps. That's it. There is nothing to do. I'm playing the same maps over and over again. I'm an old geezer. I was there when the first Call of Duty launched. At that time, also with Modern Warfare 1, games released with 16 6v6 maps. And the majority still had to come. 16. We have 9 or 6. I'm constantly playing those same maps. So, where's the content? Across the board, I will touch upon that later, but there is a lack of content across the board in this game. The footsteps. Okay, this has been highly debated. I will go in it, but just the footsteps of the AI in Invasion, for example, they're off or non-existing. All of a sudden, we don't have footsteps anymore. Sometimes you can't hear them coming. Okay, spawns, gunsmith, and leveling up guns, unlocking. I need to have a university degree to understand, and I have a university degree to understand how this works. I do get it, I get the whole idea of pushing a community into using all guns, which is fine, but we all know as soon as you leveled up the things you want, then also that system flaws. Because every system has its flaws, because you want that MP5, which is the Lachman sub. As soon as you have it and you leveled it up, it's good. And I don't care about the golden camos. I'm in Black Ops Cold War. At the end, I was grinding for it last year to do some diamond, but that's just because I was bored. But overall, I don't really care about those camos. There are people who care, fine, but I don't care. No mute. You can't mute people when you're in the menu, the home menu, and the lobby builds up. You can't select people and you can't mute them. Just just look at Black Ops Cold War. As soon as the lobby builds, you can press L3 and everybody is muted. You can select individual people to see the calling cards and everything and the scores, and you can track them. But you can't mute people. I'm listening to babies in the background, moms and dads making fights, people who have $20 headset with $20 mics and the sound it brings. Fuck off. I don't. How hard is it? XP tokens. What XP tokens? I've got a menu. I can click on it. I had 9 when it started. I still have 9, and I already selected it 600 times. It doesn't work. It's completely bugged and glitched out. It's not connected to anything. It doesn't track the time. It doesn't do anything. Menu load on top of daily challenges as soon as the lobby builds. This is Q&A. This is basic quality and assurance shit. The lobby just builds upon daily challenge. Sometimes it just mingles. What this is why, isn't there somebody do you guys have a quality in insurance? Unplayable campaign. Here, this is the screenshot. I've already posted a short clip on that, but this is still happening today. I need to remove these 2 downloads, and then if I start up the game, it starts the download automatically, and then it wants to install it, and it can't. And I can't play the campaign because it says you need to install the update patches before playing the campaign. I don't want to play the campaign anymore. I think it's one of the most generic things I've ever seen in my life. It brings nothing new other than it looks good. It looks good. But it's the most generic, stupid campaign I've ever seen. Run from point A to point B and slaughter people in the way we want you to slaughter people. There is no room for maneuver, but I explained it already. So, unplayable campaign. I paid money for this game, Crashes, bugs, glitches. I think the list is so long. It's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny anymore. The game runs worse than the beta. No challenges. No whatsoever. There is no calling card scheme. You don't have those Black Ops challenges. You don't know what to do, and all of a sudden you unlock them. Go to Black Ops Cold War. Go to challenges. You got those legacy challenges. You got normal challenges. You got the progression, your career, your hardcore challenges. No use for calling cards. 80% of the calling cards are those LHBTQ plus community. Make games. Stop investing in those political bullshit, and that's got nothing to do with what Hollywood and the gaming industry is suffering from it. Don't let it turn to shit because of this. Nobody cares. If you want to have a calling card for LGBT, have at it. But I think that the reason why this game is in the state it is that because 40% of your time has been spent on meetings about how gender neutral the gender neutral toilets at Infinity Awards are. I don't give a rat's ass. I want a good, functioning, high quality Champions League game that lives up to the standards of a Champions League AAA game. It's not. It's okay. Here we go. Barracks. There's no way of tracking what I'm doing. The only reason for this game is just run around, just shoot people, and you can't even track it. There is nothing to track. Hardcore mode. What hardcore mode? There is no hardcore mode. Challenges, we discussed that. Custom blueprints and the issues there. I need to create one for every gun. Why just don't copy and paste it? Weapon inspecting gunsmith. What weapon inspecting gunsmith? How hard is it to just inspect the weapon when I'm done with it? It's just sitting in a casket, and I need to be happy with that. Just why? 3 years, 3,000 people, and this is just scratching the surface. You guys should be freaking ashamed of yourselves. You're asking people money for that. If I would deliver a product like this to my clients, I would be fired. I and I would have an extremely bad reputation in the market, and I'll have a hard time finding a new job. And you guys just shamelessly pull it off to ask people for freaking money for this game. The state it's in, it's a tech demo worth $10. That's it. That's it. It's going to be a long 2 years, guys. We've got 2 years with this game. 2 years. God bless us all, because we're going to need it. If the tempo these guys react is the same as the tempo they put in developing this game, then it's going to be a horseshit 2 years. My prediction is that if they don't move quickly, in 6 months, this game is dead in the water, and we have to wait a year and a half for this game to be in the shape it's supposed to be in at launch. It's almost criminal, mate. It's almost criminal asking people money for this. They should be not asking money for this. They should be giving this for free, and along the way ask for money for this. But okay, this was my rant. I there is nothing to be positive about right now. The game plays good. It plays nice. It plays fun. 3 out of 10. That's it. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.